Yeah, welcome to Yabberon. We're here with Chad David. I've known Chad for a little bit now, not too well, but today I'm going to get to know him a little bit better. So, Chad, introduce yourself to
Brilliant.
us.
All right. Hi. Nice to see you again. So I'm Chad. I've been living in Vietnam for I think over 7 years now. Been
Veteran.
to and from England a few times, but now I'm based here. Looking forward to having a nice chat. Nice to see you again.
And so, what do you do? What do you do with your days?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit busy working, but I live in a remote place in Vietnam called Ba Ria, for those who don't know. So yeah, it's quite quiet here, not a lot to do, but my days spending time with family, friends, and I work a lot, a bit too much sometimes, but yeah, quite busy at the moment. So
Some odd hours as well, right?
yeah, so I work Euro hours, so I work till 3 a.m. and I start at about 2ish as well.
Europe is behind Vietnam. Europe is 5 hours behind.
Yeah, so UK is six
6
hours,
hours.
7 hours,
Okay,
and yeah, it's saying about 5 hours.
it's manageable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of self-employed, so there is no hours per se, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
to be in the good time zones with the good partners. You have to
Yeah.
stay up those times, especially in the States.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I myself, I had a meeting with someone the other day. He's in California, and if you're in Vietnam trying to arrange a time in California,
Yes.
it's either very late at night or super early in the morning.
Exactly.
There's kind of no other alternative.
Exactly. So yeah, I usually do it really, like you said,
Nice.
3-4 o'clock in the morning or
Okay.
a bit earlier.
So the questions, the Yabberon questions. So the first one, what is the first one? It is, what are you good at? What is something you're particularly good at, like better than other people, would you say?
Yeah, so I would say something I'm good at is seeing trends. Societal trends, yes, but I would say mostly like technological ones. And then basically going all in on them and pushing it to the limits. I have followed quite a few tech trends when it comes to my work, so I would say that is the main thing, catching trends. I just recognize the patterns quite well, and
Okay, yeah, recognizing patterns, foreseeing outcomes, or
Yeah.
trying to predict them, like something.
I
guess
would
like
say so. Just to give you a few examples, I was very early to mine cryptocurrency.
that. Yeah.
As soon as I saw that there was some movement in the markets and GPU cards were getting a bit better and better, and there was a moment when I'm like, this could be huge.
Okay.
I went pretty much all in before, and then I would say like a month after, everywhere was sold out, and every card was like
Wow.
300% more than the retail price,
Wow.
like in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's just one example, but there's also, a few other ones.
Takes a certain, so to recognize that is one thing, but because there's been a lot of people who recognize that. I mean, we've all been there as well, I think,
Yeah.
in this kind of world, although I'm not really exactly in that world. I'm kind of on the periphery, I would say, but you always see these things, but you don't take action, and then I should have trusted my instinct, or I should have seen that. So what kind of drove you to take action on those observations? Was there anything in particular?
So that's a very, very good point. First of all, I work with a few people. Working with people is super good because your accountability is like when you work with someone. At the end of the day, what did you do? How was it? You kind of are pushed more to execute. And also, I work with people that are really good executors as well. So if I have a good idea or a good concept, we work together for a very long time, so they can also see if it's a genuine thing and if it's good, and then we kind of go all in together. But the idea is, don't think too much about it, just do it, and then see kind of how it goes after the first week, 2 weeks. If you wait plan, wait for. There's no good moment. You just gotta push through.
Be brave, kind of share your thoughts with other people, I guess, as well, and get feedback from them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I would say definitely share. Like people are scared to share because he will take my idea and
yes.
But
That's like a natural instinct.
Yeah.
And I think it worked. It works. It did work in some business models in the past and approaching problems, but I think it's going to be a bit different moving forward.
Yeah. I agree 100%. But yeah, like talking about it more, getting more people involved, really helps. But you see very fast if something works or doesn't work. Not leaving stuff for months and months and months, and then I think you can see trends. You can see if it works quite fast. Depending on the product though, like some people, it takes some time to develop the marketing or the product market fit. Yeah. But most of the time, even people that grind on, they feel that there is a gap that they're not hitting yet, but they will get there kind of thing. So,
constant learning and reflection. Yeah, that's cool. And so you said social trends, and then you said no, tech trends. So actually, what do you think is? I mean, they're obviously kind of interconnected, I guess. Very interconnected. But do you think it's tech driving the social trends, or is it social? Like what?
Very good question. That's a very good question.
Which is the driver these days? The main driver.
So, very good question. I think they kind of bounce off of each other. However, like nowadays, like to say that social media hasn't changed the youth culture and how it is at the moment is I mean it's obvious that it does, and that reflects on everything. You know, young people drink less. Why do they drink less? Well, now they're aware because of social media that maybe it's not so great for your health. Yeah. Maybe they're also scared to get a little bit too tipsy and be filmed and then pushed on social media as well.
I have heard this too. That's why all the clubs are shutting down.
Yeah.
Because it was a funny story I heard someone say once. It was in the past, you used to be able to go out on the dance floor, write yourself off completely.
Yeah.
Do something crazy in the middle of the dance floor. Yeah. Shit yourself or something. Yeah. It would be gone within a few days. It would have been forgotten about, and that story would become like legendary.
And it could even become a rumor. Nah, it didn't happen. She could shake it off. Or
it was like a badge of honor almost. Yeah. But now when it's recorded and it's shared, it's embarrassing. It's there forever. That thing that used to be legendary has then become like a forever shame. Yeah. It's pretty sad when you think about it.
It is, and I do
although getting out and shitting yourself in the middle of a dance floor is not great either.
I think so. But then, I mean, I'm not an alcohol advocate, right?
No.
But I would say that, mental health is going down and down and down with the younger generations.
Yeah.
And sometimes to take the edge off a bit, to kind of feel this kind of relief, maybe dance, maybe, through these different things. Yeah. Maybe it helps.
But that tech is...
Yeah. It's stopping
that. It is interconnected. Yeah. You have to observe both. You have to understand.
And your social proof as well is also based on your social media presence, on what you put out there. So if you're not getting your social capital, I would say, from going out and doing stuff, then why do people go out? So, before we used to go out because you get to know the bartender, you get to know the people, you get your reputation kind of.
The risk reward is very different now compared to when we were younger.
Yeah, totally. Like, nowadays people are more worried about their social media platforms or their comments or their likes or how people perceive them online, which is kind of the norm now.
There's fewer places to actually. There's more places to portray yourself, but there's less places to be yourself.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Very nicely said. Yeah, totally agree.
That's what it seems like, anyway. And you could write that off saying we're just angry old curmudgeons, or I mean, we're not old enough to be that yet, but I think it's true. I think it's a fair thing to say.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that I mean, social media is here, and it is what it is, and it is the direction it is.
Yeah.
Tech has kind of formed it in a way, but also it's kind of fitting in with, you know, the younger generations, or maybe don't feel so that they don't fit into this kind of new world that's out there, that's coming. So it's a mix of a match, but but tech definitely drives it, I think.
Yeah. So that's something you can observe that and recognise that. That's a good skill to have.
Yeah. And to go back on one thing, like nowadays with TikTok or other platforms, a youth in a small city in China and some youth born in London or Paris or any other major city, they have something in common. They are still, maybe they do the same similar dances, the same kind of thing, but they can actually relate to each other through the tech, which has never happened before.
Yes.
It's
and thinking back to when we were young, there was no connectivity. Well, it was a different connectivity.
Yeah.
You had chat rooms, you had forums and things like that, but they were anonymous.
Yeah.
More or less. Yeah, it wasn't so open like it is now.
Yeah.
So what's something that's something you're good at observing that? What is something that you're not necessarily bad at, but it could be something you're good at, but something you want to be better at? Something you do actually want to work on, a skill or maybe a characteristic?
I think on a technological side, I would have liked to know more about the deep tech, how it works, how, and maybe I could have shipped products better, faster, differently, having a better knowledge. I think that would really help in what I do every day.
Okay.
And, it's something I've always kind of, I should work on it. AI is going fast though, so maybe it's not much of a need now as it was before, but definitely something I regret is not being more tech focused like during my youth, when maybe I could have learnt it better. Maybe I could have done some courses or went to uni even for it, rather than doing something else.
What would be a good way to get better at that now? Like from your perspective?
Yeah. So
that's what I wanted to say. What is how can you get better at that kind of thing now in your situation, having a family, living in Vietnam? What's a way to develop that?
So I would say that you need time. It's the main thing. You don't need to pay for any courses. Everything is online now. So I would say just doing a nice course that's recommended in whatever you want to do and sticking to it a little bit every day. I have increased drastically my knowledge of a lot of stuff this year. It's still quite far because I still haven't focused on it as much as I would have liked to. But now everything's online. I don't think there's any excuse for anyone today that has a smartphone and an internet connection not to know something.
Yeah, I find just even just having a curiosity, you're going to naturally observe things and notice things and learn things just with the world the way it is now, especially if you spend enough time online or even if you're outside in the natural world. Having a curious mind, you're naturally going to experiment and try things and figure out how things work.
Yeah.
So whether you're doing an official course or some kind of degree or certificate or whatever online, just that curiosity and experience helps you really develop your knowledge, especially now. It's all about experience.
Yeah. I would agree, especially when knowledge is everywhere and easily available.
Yeah.
So it's kind of filtering out those that had access to knowledge, and now it's more focused on the curious minds, the people that really want to grind and understand and learn it and push forward.
Yes.
So yeah, I totally agree. and that's kind of the shift that's happening, I think, at the moment. But
Yeah. It's a good point. And it's funny how you're not the first, but the thing that you're good at is related to the thing you want to get better at.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised, even with these last few interviews I've done, most people, it's kind of like, ends up being the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
Interrelated somehow. I don't know why.
I would kind of,
I think it's a good thing.
But I think...
It's definitely a good thing. It means you're kind of, you're gelling in a way. You're in the right place, so to speak. You're where you want to be.
I mean, you don't know what you don't know, right? So the more you know something, the more you know what you don't know about that something.
Yeah.
So therefore, they have to be kind of related in a way, I would say. So
this is true. Unless it's something completely different to what you want to do. But usually, when you're good at something, you generally want to continue at it, and you generally want to get better. That's a natural. Yeah. That's a natural thing, and usually, if you're good at something, you enjoy it as well. They're closely related.
Very true, and also the opposite. If you're not good at something, you tend not to like it
because you don't get the practice. You don't get the experience.
I remember I had this supply teacher in primary school. Sorry to go on, but she was so scary. I remember she was the only teacher anyone was scared of in the whole school. And I remember her saying a few quotes, and that was one of them. She, she was talking to a kid who was only young, must have been like 8, and she said, "Do you like maths?" And he said, "Yeah." And she said, "Well, you must be good at it then." And he said, "Yeah, well, I am." And she looked at everyone and said, "When you like something, you're generally good at it. If you don't like something, you can't really be good at it." So it's kind of a fun way to.
True. Yeah. Some people realise that from a young age. Others takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I'm not pointing any fingers, but. Yeah. What's the next question? I always forget what the next question is. The third question is, something you're nervous about in the future. Something you're maybe a little bit worried or concerned about.
Yeah. So. Actually, this has been puzzling me, I'd say, for the last few years.
Okay.
Especially now with, I've got a family, and I'm starting to think more about the future and what to do and where to live and all of these kind of questions and the skills I want to give as well. So it's a very good question. And there's two main things that I'm scared of, worried. One is how AI is moving industries extremely fast. That there's going to be a very big hit in the job market. I think most white-collar jobs are going to be a thing of the past. I would say something like at least 60 to 70% are going to take a massive hit. That's one thing.
A lot of people say that anything you can do remotely, in effect,
quite true.
Can or anything that can be automated.
Yeah. Very true. Also, even in technology, what took 5 people to do now you only need 2 people.
Yeah. So it's a reduction in that as well. Not just a removal of the jobs, but a reduction in the jobs that are still there. Yeah.
Exactly. Accountants.
Yeah.
I think the top level accountants, they will still be there, but the others, they can be replaced pretty much with AI tools. Any accountant, or not just accountant, like any other lawyers even, they would argue, but every case is different, blah 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 blah. Yeah, but the AI.
They'll figure a way. Lawyers will figure out a way to keep their jobs.
But
they'll introduce a clause into the AI software or something. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, but
they always do.
The people, they're trying to undermine even developers. They're like, but the AI is never going to replace me, and they're using it, and they're saying that it increases this, that, the other. But they're still kind of saying, but it will come.
Yeah. It's like that thing, there is nothing that is unhackable.
Yeah.
There's always going to be
Always a way.
There's always going to be a way to.
Yes.
There's nothing as There's always a better hacker who will be able to overcome.
Pretty much. Yeah. There's always a way to get around it. There's always a way to get into a step. There's always flaws in any system. Yeah. That is. So that's one thing, is how AI is going to change stuff, and going back to the consequences that it can have. Yep. Our countries, most Western countries like UK, Australia.
Sorry, this is the second. The second thing you're worried about. Yeah.
Yeah, but they kind of match together. Is regulations and the discussions that we're having in our countries are not tech driven at all. We're focusing on a lot of social problems, on what's going on in England, like the NHS or the migrant situation, and all of these things.
True.
Which can be solved with a lot of money, yes, with a lot of reorganisation as well. However, the main thing that I think that our government should focus on is, how do we become number one in tech industry, in the tech industry? How do we attract AI talent? How do we attract these companies? Because they are going to, I'd say, absorb all of the cash from a lot of these companies.
If they're smart, the problem is, it seems governments are. This is not my original idea, of course, but I've heard it. Many people are talking about this. Governments are a relic of the industrial age.
Yeah.
They are borders of a country. They are the physical containers of that era. And now the digital era is coming. It's crossing borders. Governments are losing control of that system. So that's why they're not talking about it, and that's why they're not adapting to it, because they can't control it.
Yeah, so, and this is why I'm scared is as well, a lot of old civilizations have fallen because they haven't adopted technology. Loads.
Yeah, you either adopt it or I'm trying to think of some analogy or some phrase.
Yeah, you adopt it or fall. And of course, like, there's many different factors, but there was the Romans, for example. They didn't totally take on board all of the the water mills and all of they were trying to push their own technologies, their own ways of doing stuff. And eventually, of course, it's not just that, but it didn't help. The Byzantine Empire, they didn't totally embraced printing. So the Ottoman Empire, they printed, they got their information out, and they had bigger cultural influence. They also, it's not just that, but it didn't help. Chinese, the Chinese, I can't remember the name, I think it was the Ming Dynasty, I believe. They were very strong, very powerful. They didn't adapt to the industrialization of the West. They were keeping it local. They didn't want to expand, and they fell. And
they didn't need to expand. Well, obviously they did, but they didn't need to. When I say expand, they didn't need to necessarily look outwards for any answers, because they had enough within their own borders, within their own system, to survive for a while.
However, and then after, we know what happened. During the 20th centuries with China wasn't great at all, and now I'm kind of drawing parallels and being like, okay, we're trying to regulate. Yes, we of course we should regulate. Yes, but you're looking at, we're not embracing it as we should. We know it's going to change drastically everything, and the answer is, to get elected, let's talk about immigration, let's talk about this, let's talk about that. Whereas
yes,
the focus should be on driving the economy, I believe, through tech, and then we can solve these problems after.
Or you just reminded me of something else that's been coming up quite a lot back home in Australia. They're talking about tech, but it's not tech. They're talking about working from home, and introducing laws that make that enforce companies to make it legal. They're still trying to sort out the details. People are trying to push to make it legal for you to work from home, and it's like, that's the level of conversation, but that's actually not. It's not tech.
Yeah,
it's not. It is because you're using technology, but it's not an advantage. It's not the advantages that we're talking about when we're talking about
exactly.
Yeah.
And to draw the same line in the UK, the Digital Act. I'm not sure if you followed it in the UK.
No.
So now to go on adult websites, you need to be age verified. So you need to do a picture of your passport, send it to a provider in order to log into.
That's in law, or is that coming into law?
Been in law now. So the major adult websites, they have it already. However, you can bypass it with a VPN.
Yeah.
Like, what young teenager does not know how to use a VPN? Like, if my kids cannot use VPNs at the age of 15, 16, 17, I think I failed as a parent totally. Like, it's just the regulation they put into place and, you know, the effect that they want to get, they're just totally disaligned. It's like,
It's one of those things that bureaucracies do though, right? They tick a box and say, hey, we did it.
Yeah.
Our intention's there.
Yeah.
Okay, it may not have worked, but we're doing all we can.
Yeah.
Australia are doing it this year. It's a similar thing, but it's even perhaps more insidious and a little bit worrying is the under 16 social media ban. And so a lot of critics say of that, it's actually not. You don't have to prove you're over. Well, if you're going to prove you're over 16, that means everyone has to prove they're over 16.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's an 80-year-old or a 17-year-old or a 23-year-old. Everyone will have to prove that. Everyone will need to get a digital ID.
Yeah.
In effect, or at least go through some verification process where you're handing your digital details and data over to someone. And another argument is, well, how can you prove that someone is 15 and 11 months old versus someone who's 16 and 1 month old?
Yeah.
Their facial recognition, their data is, there's no difference.
Yeah. No.
It gets the facial recognition. It's getting ages wrong.
Yeah.
It's getting 28-year-olds saying that they're 14.
Yeah.
For example,
I don't think I'll get that, but
you'd be surprised. Yeah.
But no, it's just that there's such a. It's nonsense regulations and policies, and the tech moves so fast.
Yeah.
So fast that, you know, someone who's a politician but needs to read, you know, documents, policies, needs to read all this stuff every day, day in, day out. They don't have time to be checking this, that, and the other.
And the public sector does move, you know, slow. That's just how it is.
Very slow.
That's just how it is. That's pretty uncontroversial, I think, to say that. It's slow when you compare it to the private sector, but they can also move very fast at the same time.
It's if you look at like Vietnam, they can embrace the technology, they can push it out, and they move very, 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 very fast. Other countries with lots more bureaucracy, European especially, Australia, even the US, is very slow.
Bureaucracy or democracy?
Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. Okay.
However, they do tend to be democracy. But
Yes.
It's a very big.
I think they're very valid things to be concerned about, and once again, they're kind of like things, and they're kind of related to, again, what you're particularly talented at, what you're good at.
Yeah.
You're observing these things, so of course you see the benefits in them, and that's why you're attracted to working in it. But you also see the flaws in it, and there's concerns.
Yeah. I mean, so let me just give you an example. I know that there's a big debate in the UK, and I think as well in Australia about, you know, there's a tax in the rich, they're going to be moving their stuff away, whatever. But I'm just talking about something simple. I talk to crypto founders every day, and not one has said, oh, I'm going to incorporate my company in the UK. Like, no, because the regulation's too much, like in crypto. It doesn't make sense. It's too slow. It's too expensive. It's hard to hire. It's hard to fire. Like, it's super hard to build a business in that environment. So where do they go? Oh, I'm going to incorporate my company in Dubai. I'm going to incorporate it in Georgia. Georgia's becoming really popular in the crypto world because they're very crypto friendly in terms of regulation, and it's very easy to open up a company. So I'm just seeing it, and then I talk to people in the UK, and I'm like, oh, if you get the funding, if you get this, if you get that, are you going to move? And they look at me, they're like, yeah, like, of course, like, I do everything online anyway.
And of course, I can understand that too. There's places like Dubai, obviously everyone seems to be going there or wanting to go there. Georgia, that one's new to me, I haven't heard of that, but they're very friendly now. Who knows what they're going to be like in a few years' time, but at the end of the day, who knows what anything's going to be like in a few years' time. So you've kind of got to go to where the opportunity is, so you can strengthen yourself and ensure that you will be able to have that freedom in the future.
And when you say Dubai, everyone's like, oh, they're avoiding, they don't want to pay tax. That is totally not true. It's because it's it's a crypto-friendly place, and the regulations of the laws are a lot more, I would say, not easier to understand, but it's more crypto-friendly than the UK.
It's more private sector friendly. The regulation is not just in crypto, but just across the board and everything. It seems to be
exactly.
I don't know a lot about it, to be honest, but it seems to be. I haven't looked into it, but it seems to be that's why people go there. It's just they can do what they want to do, what they're good at, what they're talented at, what their customers want and need, and they can do it better there than they can elsewhere.
Exactly that, and I really think that should be the focus of like the UK, Australia, is just that one thing. Let's bring in as much AI talent as possible. Let's build the biggest, the best, the easiest, and the most AI-friendly environment for companies to stay. To even a tax waiver, like you can say, okay, no tax for 3 years for certain AI companies, certain new founders with grant money or this, that, the other, but make them feel safe, make them feel like, yes, I feel comfortable building something here, and that's what that can have a huge impact on our economies. Not what they're talking about taxing this, taxing that.
We do have a collaboration issue. That's become pretty obvious to me over the last few months, doing what I do and talking to the people at home. But I don't think that issue, the core of that issue is not in the government. Government is downstream from the culture. I think we have a collaboration issue in our culture, and that's playing out in our governments. And it's pretty complicated. There's a lot of other things that go into it. But I see whatever a government is able to do and empowered to do, and the people accepted to do that, they're only going to do what they're able to get away with. Or, I mean, it's simplification, of course.
I know what you mean, but there's hard facts that governments and politicians or people running for certain, that they're running to be an MP or they're running for different things, but they can't say. It's like, you cannot go to someone's home, knock on the door and, say, oh, hello, what are you doing? Yeah. Oh, I'm worried about migration, I'm worried about this. And then as an MP you say, or someone who's running, that's not the problem. The problem is we need to be more, we need to get more money, we need to bring in more companies, we need to bring in more, capital, we need to make this, and they'll look at you and be like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, I don't want to know that. And also, hard truths. It's going to be super hard in Western countries in the next 10 years.
Yes, I think that's, and if it's not, great, but you've got to be prepared for it.
It is, and I think that
it will be,
the governments don't have they can't give you hard truths, say.
Yeah.
So they're not going to tell you, oh, it's going to be hard for the next 10 years. They'll say, no, we're going to solve everything. It's not true. The only thing they can do is maybe print more money, then in the long term it's going to be worse. Get into debts more to fund all the different things that they say that they can solve. Mm-hmm. But there's no government or no running party or anyone that's going to sit down and be like, it's going to be hard, this is the plan, but in 15 years time, if it works, we can be a great country again. Mm-hmm. But people it's very hard because you're a people's pleaser as a politician.
Yeah. And who doesn't want to be a people pleaser?
Yeah.
So then I guess that leads to the last question, which is, what is something that you're excited about in the future? What is something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, so I'm excited about the outcome of the new technology, how the world's going forward.
Oh, I thought you were going to say moving to Dubai or something like that, or running for president or prime minister.
No. Definitely not.
No.
So it will be, I think, UK or Vietnam, I reckon.
You're going to run for president in Vietnam?
No, definitely not.
No. Okay.
No. So I'm looking forward to what the technology is doing.
Yeah.
How it's going to work out.
Yeah.
And yeah, growing my business, seeing how it goes, and seeing where it goes to. Not interested in politics at all, but it's always an interesting topic and how the technology fits into it. But yeah, so that's what I'm interested in, is what's going to happen, what's going to be the fruit.
So you think it's going to work out well, I guess? That's why you're looking forward to it?
No, I'd say I'm more curious of the outcome, how it's going to be.
Okay.
To be 100% honest, I think it's going to be worse. I think the rich and poor divide is going to be absolutely huge.
Yeah.
I think in some cases, even basic needs maybe won't even be met in certain cases.
Yeah.
I think the Western world is going to have big trouble, I would say, embracing this new way of life and technology, and it could lead to the downfall of a lot of Western economies.
And you're looking forward to it?
No, I'm not. I'm not hoping for that to happen.
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying, like, it's it's very worrying, but at the same time, it could have a positive outcome as well. It could lead to a world where we don't need to work as much. It could lead to a world that's more fair, that's more transparent, and a nice place to live. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, but I'd say I'm curious to see the outcome of what's happening.
Yeah. I think I understand where you're coming from. That's kind of where I see it as well. Like, sure, there's a lot of worry around the uncertainty about what's going to happen. We're not really sure about what's going to happen in 5 years' time, let alone 10, 15, or when we're 80.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a bad outcome. I think we have influence, if maybe not at a social scale, at least at the way we can develop our own resilience and our own lives to that.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that as well. I'm excited about the uncertainty and seeing what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think on a personal level, there's a lot of stuff that can be done. But yeah, in the broader picture, yeah, I would say it is a bit scary. But I'm very curious to see what is going to happen. Am I right? Am I wrong? Maybe not a lot of stuff. I doubt it. But maybe it's not going to be so big, or maybe the change is going to be positive. Maybe we're going to start to implement systems where it's more, like I said, fair, transparent.
Yeah.
And
maybe it will be, and like you said, it's not necessarily I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like when you said, am I right, am I wrong? It's also like, well, are we going to also recognize when we're wrong and change tact and do something else?
Yeah. I mean,
that's exciting, even if something goes wrong, which it inevitably will.
Yeah.
Being able to, speaking for myself, I also see this as exciting.
Yeah.
Being able to overcome that.
I know it. Yeah, I know totally what you mean. And yeah, it is very exciting. But yeah, I mean, I have also seen the evolution of how the UK has been over a certain amount of years, and yeah, it's not so exciting to see some of the stuff that's going on. I would say it's a bit depressing, really. However, AI tech can change a lot of stuff.
Yes.
If we get the ball rolling and we kind of embrace it and push it more and not be worried about, these immediate things. But yeah, it is very. I'm very curious, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
So and once again, it's similar to the first two questions. What you're good at is generally something what you want to be better at. What you're fearful of in the future is also something that you're looking forward to.
I mean, kind of. The reason why I work in the crypto and AI space as well, I do some AI stuff in crypto, is because I kind of feel that if you're not doing anything in AI at the moment, it's a huge mistake. You should be. No matter what job you do, you need to embrace the technology or understand it, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
One thing. It does kind of go towards it, but I have shifted over. I was very crypto focused in the beginning, and now I'm shifting more towards a more like AI kind of side. Even though I'm very, very, very anchored to crypto, I do think that the AI side is a lot. It is an area that is here to stay, and it is the future. Unlike
crypto, there's still too many question marks for you over that, or?
So crypto is a big topic, big domain. Blockchain technology, which is the bedrock of crypto, is a great technology and it's here to stay. Crypto in itself, some cryptocurrencies are brilliant. I think Bitcoin is, I'm not one of those people who are going to be talking about Bitcoin for hours, but Bitcoin, I believe, is a very good underlying asset that we can trust, and it makes sense for economies to, I would say, the philosophy of Bitcoin itself works perfectly. Like, why do we have gold? It's because it's a limited supply. It's because people recognize it in different countries and they can use it to trade. Yeah, now you can have gold necklaces or use gold in tech, but that's not the real use case of gold. The real use case of gold is store of value, because it's a limited supply and you can't print more from a machine, right? Bitcoin is the perfect asset. It's limited to a certain number of tokens, and it just makes sense to make decisions based on something that you can trust and rely on. The dollar, all of these other currencies, they can be printed. They can crash the supply. They can totally, destroy a market. There's so much stuff that can be done. Bitcoin, you can't. That's it. It's digital. It's fixed. There's a number, and that is it. So.
And some countries have decided to effectively, I guess, lean on it.
Yeah.
To support their issues with their currency, like countries used to do with gold.
Pretty much, yeah.
Are they using it to effectively support themselves and reach into their Bitcoin reserves, or I'm not sure how that works exactly.
Yeah. So governments, they're not a big fan of using it in their reserves for obvious reasons. If it becomes a new currency, it's not a good thing for the dollar. It's not a good thing for all the other world currencies. I do have a kind of, I have a feeling that a lot of countries or a lot of industries are secretly buying it because it's just to leverage their risk exposure.
But of course, they don't want to.
They would never disclose it.
Yes.
They can't because that would mean that they don't trust their own system.
Well, it's national security.
Yeah.
It would literally be a cause for national security.
Exactly. Yeah. However, there are a lot of emerging countries and a lot of countries around the world where they use crypto for payments.
Yeah.
Nigeria, for example, I have a lot of friends in Nigeria. Okay. And they use crypto sometimes to get payments.
Your friend's not a king, is he, or like a
prince?
A prince?
No, I didn't find him in my.
Okay, all right, okay.
But yeah, no.
Is that what it is? A Nigerian prince. That's the thing. Okay. Not yet a king.
No.
Future king.
It's so yeah, like they
El
use
Salvador's
it to
another.
transact.
El Salvador's another country.
Yeah.
Is there any others that are using it quite openly? And you mentioned Georgia before. Are they?
Yeah. So
are they using it?
Not necessarily. However, it's friendly for companies. But nowadays there's a lot of apps and things, and like I could scan a QR code and send you crypto on POS systems in the US or some other countries. You can scan the QR code that they have, it sends the money in their bank, and done. So even though you don't know it's there, it's there.
I tried with a guy. I bought a motorbike back in Australia at the beginning of this year, and it wasn't an expensive motorbike, but the guy was like a businessman. He was involved in some industry, insurance, and he said to him, he asked me, "Do you want to pay cash for that?" And I said, "Yeah, I can pay you in cash, or if you want crypto, do you take crypto?" And he looked at me like, "Are you nuts? Are you crazy? What would I take crypto?" And I'm like, "I don't know, dude, but if you want to start getting into it, maybe." And But I think it's. I mean, he was quite old, like 60 plus. But I wasn't sure whether he was into that or not. But
yeah, I mean, how to
it would have been great. I've been kind of looking for people to do that, to find that kind of community.
So I've hired people from countries, and I've done the hiring process, doing all the coordination with the teams and everything. Okay. And sometimes you tell them, "Oh, do you accept payment in crypto?" And they're like, "No, I refuse." Blah blah blah.
Yes.
And then you sit down with them, you talk to them, you're like, "Look, I'm sending you USDT, which is a peg dollar coin.
Yeah.
You put it to your bank account straight away. Don't worry." And still it's like, "No, it's crypto. It can go down in price." I'm like, "No, could, but no."
Yeah.
Do it the same day. There's zero risk. And it's like, but people are still a bit,
So I wonder, is this something else that is this something you're particularly excited about in the future too? Crypto? You think crypto and AI, they're going to be able to work together, or is it one in particular? It sounded like before you was AI.
Yeah, yes and no. Yeah, so going back to crypto, I think the technology is brilliant. It's really good. I think most cryptocurrencies are worthless. The only good ones are like I don't know, take the coin market cap, the top 100, yes, even top 20. Plus there are some other ones with some cool use cases, some cool products and projects on there, but top ones, they have some solid use cases, with other ones as well that have some cool utilities. But I would say the main interest is those top ones.
Sorry, again.
Those top ones. Plus, crypto is basically...
Twice.
So, crypto is basically programmable money.
Yeah.
So, I believe in a kind of future, and it will be possible, and it's still kind of possible today. I can talk to you, and I can, for example, say, "Oh, I pay for the coffees today, you pay the next time." And then I can talk to my AI wallet and say, "Oh, I'm with Mark, I pay for the coffees today, and next time it'd be good if he can pay." Okay? Mm-hmm. And then the AI would, maybe we will count, maybe there's a, scan the code, whatever. And then the AI kind of understands, what's happening. You're with Mark, and then the next time, and then, my wallet would say, "Oh no, you paid this time, Mark's, and then your wallet would pop up." Or we could.
So it can help with payments, not just making payments, but coordinating payments.
Yeah, or I could say, for example, to an AI, I can say, let me give you an example. Every time this person parks in front of my house, please request $2 from his wallet, right? And then it can kind of do it, sees him, bum, send him the transaction. Then he can be like, oh, pay, done. Verify that it's me, verify that it's there, and done. However, if he doesn't go there, don't charge him. If he's there for under 20 minutes, don't charge him. Or refund him. So you can program it I'd say a lot more easier than normal traditional banking systems. So that's why it's good.
It brings up, I mean, you use the example of a car space, but there's also, obviously that's one very simple, relatable example, but it brings up a different world of possibility of using space or even products.
Yeah,
anything.
Or even bonuses, right? Yeah. I can put in the AI in the program, and give John a $10 bonus for every client he signs on in the next month. And every time he signs one on and the criteria is met, bam, money sent. And that's all programmable in a smart contract that cannot be altered, changed. And your employer can't say, oh no, I said $9. No, you didn't, you said 10. It's on chain, it's recorded, and you cannot change it. So it's kind of that.
And there's an inflation clause as well in there, right?
Could be, yeah.
That'll be the next contract.
Yeah. But that can also be added. Like you can, and that is the thing, you can add, for example, inflation within the contract based on oracles that fetch those informations in real time, and it can pay you based on the inflation of the currency that you're. That could also be a use case.
Yeah.
It's programmable money, pretty much.
So there's a lot of positivity in that area, because it seems like there are a lot of new opportunities there that we don't really understand that will come out of uncertainty.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we can concern ourselves with that may not turn out well, and they might be fine. But with AI and crypto, it sounds like there are a lot of opportunities for things to happen that are not necessarily as draconian or dire as many of us imagine.
Yeah. I think that's why I said the word transparency.
Yeah.
I think transparency is going to be quite important.
Well, it can actually, you're right. If anything that fosters transparency or encourages it, that's a good thing. Yeah,
I do believe so. However, with blockchain, it's also, there is a kind of double-edged sword with transparency and privacy, and I do think we have the right as well to be private in certain ways.
Yeah.
However, for stuff that you would like to be transparent on, insurances, the clause for your insurance can be on a smart contract, inaltered, with numbers, and an oracle or a third-party escrow can validate or not what happened, pay out automatically or not, based on what was in the contract at what time, without the need of these long processes.
I've never thought about that before. It can actually, it depends on your perspective, on how you look at it. Yeah, and I think that's something that I've learnt anyway, over the past few years in particular. The kind of world you foresee around you, you will take actions and you'll put yourself into situations that will allow that to naturally develop. It sounds like a book, The Secret, but it's not. I'm not. What's that called? Where you
the manifestation.
Manifestation. But there is a bit of truth in that. I'm not talking about manifestations as such, but it's just more about putting into action, reflecting your values into the world.
Yeah. Exactly, and put in the good and sometimes the bad, unfortunately, but put in the good and what you know into action through your experience, through your knowledge, will to a certain extent promote it and push it. So I totally agree. Yeah.
All right. Really nice. On that note, Chad.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for meeting.
Brilliant.
Thanks for listening. And see you soon.
See you next time. Brilliant.
Bye,
Thanks
guys.
for having me on.
See you later.
Bye bye.